Now at 10, Southeast Kansas voters weigh in on major investments in infrastructure and schools. Plus, organizers behind a Joplin petition drive race against the clock to force a data center vote. And the Grove City Council approves a development project, but some say problems will follow.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Severe weather looks to make its return with potentially dangerous timing for morning commuters. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. Heavy rains and hail threaten the 4 states early tomorrow morning. Let's check in with meteorologist Donald O'Keefe.
Yeah, we're going to start to see severe weather start to push in early Wednesday morning. Taking a look at our current Skywatch storm tracker. Not much happening right now, just a few showers out there by Monette. So quiet at the moment. As we get into tomorrow morning, though, things are going to change. Taking a look out at the Indigo Sky Casino Resort Cam. Like I said, it is quiet at this moment. Temperatures are on the cooler side across the region. That cold front is starting to make its way through the region, and quite a temperature difference. 45 degrees out there in Yates Center, and as we get down to the southeast, 71 still there in Anderson. We can see that cold front starting to make its way into the region, which is going to be the fuel for these storms pushing in tomorrow morning. Currently in Joplin, 57 degrees, 52 degree dew points. I mean, some moisture is pushing in. Also, the humidity is at 83%. So that's going to be, like I said, the fuel needed for those strong storms to start pushing in early Wednesday morning. Dropping down to 57 degrees, those showers and storms are going to be pushing in. Like I said, some could be strong as we get into the peak commuting hour, but we do have an alert day for both Wednesday and Friday across the 4 states due to the chances of severe storms. I'll break that all down in my forecast coming up.
See you soon. Voters in 2 Southeast Kansas communities head to the polls today on major funding measures. Frontenac decides on a new sales tax for wastewater improvements, while the Riverton School District votes on a multi-million-dollar bond issue. In Frontenac, voters overwhelmingly approved a 3/4% city sales tax to help pay for a new $21 million wastewater treatment plant. The tax will generate $600,000 to $700,000 annually, keeping sewer rate increases lower for residents. The new mechanical plant is needed to replace the current lagoon system to meet state environmental requirements. And voters in the Riverton School District pass an $8.5 million bond issue for facility improvements. The money will go to safety upgrades, new roofing, plumbing, HVAC systems, and classroom modernization across district buildings. A group seeking a public vote on Joplin's proposed data center site is running out of time. Last month, the City Council voted to annex and rezone 540 acres for that project. The Joplin Sustainable Technology Alliance is hoping to reverse that decision, but needs 7,000 more signatures by March 7th. While data centers raise questions about transparency and resources, experts say they're nothing new. KOAM's Kenny Foreman reports.
If you live in Joplin, there's a good chance you've at least heard the term data center being thrown around lately. But what exactly is a data center?
Data center is basically a digital infrastructure facility to house servers, computer equipment that can be used to process, store, and transmit digital information for users. So this is a very crucial infrastructure for digital life, and it has been around since digital information is present on the web.
540 acres sounds like a lot of space, considering that millions can receive that information right at their fingertips. But it takes a lot of power, about 100 megawatts, just to make that possible.
That's roughly equivalent to the total electricity demand of a small city. So when a data center, a hyperscale data center, connects to the grid, utilities may need new substations, new infrastructure. Transmission lines that deliver the power may require upgrades. Interconnection studies of these data centers could take years.
Though that increased energy use has many concerned, one expert from the University of Michigan says that these facilities are nothing new.
This is a very crucial infrastructure for digital life, and it has been around since digital information is present on the web, right? So even though the debate of data center has recently emerged, data center infrastructure has existed for decades.
A portion of the outcry in Joplin is over the amount of water a data center could use. Another expert from the University of California, Riverside, adds that using water to cool the system shouldn't be viewed any differently from using it for everyday life.
Water is often ignored in the public discussion. And people often think, oh, this data using water is just bad. And that's not true, because we use water to wash our hands. That's a good thing, right? And similarly for data center, they use water to reduce the peak demand, reduce the peak cooling demand, cooling energy demand.
Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Since the last city council meeting, there haven't been any official updates on the Wildwood Ranch proposed data center. You can watch more of the data center discussion at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Grove Oklahoma City Council votes to approve a planned unit development, which will allow an RV park, mini golf, and swimming pool. Some neighbors in Orchard Grove are not happy with the change, citing safety concerns with crime, noise, and the potential for increased traffic.
You could play this game all day long, right? But at the end of the day, we've got somebody who's saying, hey, I'm going to invest a bunch of money. I mean, I don't know what this is going to cost, but I bet it's $3, $4, $5 million bucks.
The city is not for the residents. The city is looking to make bucks. They're wanting to generate money continually, which all cities need to do that, but they're doing it at the expense of the residents.
After hearing the council's decision, some residents expressed interest in putting their homes on the market before construction for the park begins. It's tournament time for some high school basketball teams in Southeast Kansas. Ryan has highlights from some of the night's biggest games coming up later in sports, but up first.
The future of Joplin's leadership is on the ballot, with 3 general seats up for grabs. I'm Blake Gully. Coming up, KOAM launches a 3-night candidate series asking each of the city council hopefuls the same key questions.
As part of our 3-night series on the Joplin City Council race, we're asking each hopeful where they stand on the issues shaping this election. The proposed data center and annexation vote has sparked strong public reaction across Joplin. We asked the candidates, if elected, would you support moving the project forward as approved or push to revisit it? We heard from 3 candidates on our 6 o'clock newscast. Tonight we hear from the other 3.
Just annexed it and rezoned it. My job moving forward, or to continue to move forward if I'm reelected, is to make sure that we're keeping those protections in place, or putting some protections in place for the citizens, right? So not just the ones that live out there, but even the citizens that live in the area. It's important that we're able to do those things, that we don't just allow the center to go in and be a disturbance or be negatively impact our city as a whole.
Being there and watching hundreds of people show up and voice an opposition, I think as a civil servant, we have to represent the people. That's what we sign up for. So hearing all the facts and the data that the people brought to the city council, it would have been a no for me. I've also been canvassing. There's a recall petition for the annexation and the rezoning to get it on the ballot for the people.
I'm a commissioner on the Planning and Zoning Board, and I actually voted no when this came to planning and zoning. I would continue to stick by my answer. I would have voted no on the data center going forward, being on council. I am in favor of the citizens and the petition that they are circulating for the referendum and the moratorium.
We continue our 3-night candidate series tomorrow, asking the question, is the city doing enough to tackle homelessness? A little bit later, a high-tech basketball court could steal the show during a Big 12 tournament in Kansas City.
And severe weather looks to make its way into the region tomorrow morning. I'll be tracking those storms coming up on my full forecast.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Severe weather will start to make its way into the region tonight into tomorrow morning. Taking a look at our severe thunderstorm risk for the Storm Prediction Center, we do have a marginal risk, which is a 1 out of 5 chance for severe weather to push into the region across our area. And taking a look at the timing of that, it's going to be from 10 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. The main threat should be hail up to quarter size and also some heavy rain. The tornado threat is very low, but it is non-zero, so we're going to keep an eye on that as we get into tomorrow morning. Current conditions out there right now, 57 degrees. Dew point is at 52. That means some moisture is starting to make its way into the region. Also, humidity is at 83%. So that's going to be the fuel needed for these storms as we get into tomorrow morning. Let's track out these storms tomorrow morning. So this is at midnight. calm at the moment for midnight. Temperatures right around that 50 mark. As we get into Wednesday morning, this is at 4 a.m., we're going to start to see some storms start to push into the western counties. As we get to about 6 a.m., still some storms are going to be pushing into the central counties, and it's going to be peak commuting time for everyone. You're getting out the door, driving to work. Make sure you give yourself enough time to get to work, even get there an hour early ahead of the storms. And if you have kids waiting for the school bus, just keep them inside before the school bus gets there. You do not want to have them run the risk of standing outside while it's heavy rain and also lightning and hail. So continuing through the morning, we're going to see an area of concern Wednesday morning. That's mostly going to be north of I-44. So most of the areas north of I-44 is when we're going to see the chances of some storms continue through Wednesday morning. The timing for this is going to be between 6 a.m. to noon. And again, the threat is still going to be hail, wind, and even a chance for an isolated tornado. And again, the tornado risk is very low, but non-zero. Let's track the rest of Wednesday morning. It's at 7 a.m. Still some storms are pushing through. Out west, another storm is going to be pushing in. But as we get to noon, we're going to start clearing out. Most of that storms will be pushing off to the east, and we're going to be calming down for now. However, as we get to Wednesday afternoon and into the evening time, another chance of some storms should arrive into the region. This is from the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center. There's a marginal risk that's south of I-44, and then a slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5 chance, that's going to be pushing into Benton County. And the timing for this for tomorrow is going to be between the hours of 4 p.m. to midnight. And again, it's going to be gusty wind, hail, and also possibility of an isolated tornado. Again, the risk for tornadoes tomorrow afternoon and evening is still very low, but we can't rule it out completely. Let's track that out right now. So this is 4 p.m. Calm for the moment, but as we get into the later parts of Wednesday night at 9 p.m., there's those storms south of I-44 starting to push in. So we're talking about Neosho, Bella Vista, Cassville, Monette. So that's what we're talking about tomorrow night. But as we get into Thursday morning, that pushes off to the east. Now we're going to see calmer conditions return to the region. Temperatures right around the low to mid 40s on Thursday. As we get to Thursday afternoon, we're going to see sunny skies return to the region. Temperatures right around the low 70s. So it's going to be a pretty nice Thursday, but then we're getting into Friday. There's a chance for another round of severe weather as we get into Friday. Temperatures Friday morning are going to be in the low to mid 60s, so very warm. We're going to see a lot of moisture push in. As you get to Friday afternoon, you can see temperatures in the low to mid 70s for the area, and that's when we're tracking the next round of severe storms on Friday. But despite having the chance of seeing severe weather for the next couple of days, we could also see a significant amount of rain that will really help these drought conditions. This is until Friday morning. We can see anywhere from a half an inch up to 2 inches south of I-44. So we are in desperate need of rain, and it'll definitely help by Friday. But we do have the alert days for both Wednesday and Friday across the 4 states due to the chances of that severe weather. So that's what we're going to see for the next 7 to 10 days. Alert day for both Wednesday and Friday. So we're tracking those storms on Wednesday morning during peak commute hours when kids, like I said, are getting on the school bus. So just prep now before those storms arrive.
We certainly need the rain, as you say, but no one needs the severe weather. Let's hope we don't get it.
Of course.
Thanks. We have the perfect way for you to stay ahead of severe weather season. Just scan this QR code and head straight to the updated weather resources page on our website, where you can find information on storm shelters, weather updates, closings, outage maps. You can also find tips for watching live streams in real time, the weather resource page on KOAMnewsnow.com. In the 4 states, the allergen pollen count is going up this week, with a few trees like junipers, for example, already releasing their pollen. Dr. Ken Stewart from Kansas City University Joplin says allergy symptoms include runny nose, itchy eyes, and sneezing, but we should monitor the symptoms in case it's something else.
Antihistamines like Allegra, Zyrtec, Xyzal, Claritin, Loratadine, all those different antihistamines are really helpful in keeping the immune system from releasing those allergy symptoms.
Dr. Stewart says allergy symptoms are usually clear, runny nose, watery eyes, itchy throat. Similar symptoms with fever, mucus, or body chills is more likely an upper respiratory infection. Still ahead, playoff basketball is in full force across the 4 states. Coming up in sports, we have highlights from postseason hoops in Kansas and Missouri.
Playoff basketball is in full force with the MIAA championships tipping off on Wednesday and all high school teams competing in the postseason. In Kansas, sub-state semifinals are taking center stage with Missouri's district tournaments getting underway. Starting in the Sunflower State as top-seeded Colgan girls battle 8-seed Southeast. Early first quarter, Panthers working the ball inside. It's the freshman Mariella Gilmore dishing it down low to Belly Ascanio, who spins and scores to give Colgan the lead. A couple possessions later, it's Jacayla Davis hauling in the offensive rebound, and her teammates swing it back to her beyond the arc, and the senior guard splashes the three. And Davis was just getting started. Off a Lancer's miss, she goes on the run in transition. She'll stutter step, drive, and pull up with the mid-range jumper. Nothing but net. An 11-0 Panthers run to start. Southeast looking for some offense. This nice ball movement will set up Zakiah Dickinson down low, who scores plus a foul, but Colgan punches their ticket to the title game, winning 55-26. In Riverton, the Rams boys squad clashing with Wellsville in the semis. Let's go straight to the fourth quarter. Riverton leading by 1. Levi Mann with the drive and dish to Cale Forbes in the corner. The senior cashes the 3, extending the lead. Next possession, off the inbounds pass from Mann. It's Tyler Ritz firing from the corner. Bang! A 7-point lead for the Rams in the final minutes. But here come the Eagles. 3-point game with under a minute left. They're going to go to the corner themselves with Isaiah Jones. And the junior drains the 3 to force overtime. And in overtime, Jones will go back to work. Near midcourt, he'll cross over and attack the basket, scoring with the right hand. Wellsville comes from behind to defeat Riverton, 68-58 the final. It's a CNC battle in Girard as the Trojans take on Baxter Springs. First quarter, Lions trailing, but not for long as Cole Parrish dishes it to Isaiah Main, who pulls up and drains the jumper from the elbow for the lead. Later in the first, Girard leading once again. Parrish with the move, kicking it to Logan Abbott, who drives and kicks to Main, wide open for 3, nothing but net. Regain the lead for Baxter. Trojans now trailing by 5, looking for an answer. Harrison Burke finds Adrian Newton wide open on the wing. He rattles home a tray of his own. Second quarter action, Baxter lead by double digits. Blake Brokop with a drive and dish out to Newton. The senior splashes his second 3. Lions, though, upset the Trojans barely in overtime, 47-46. Moving to Missouri as Monette and Cassville open the Class 4 District 12 tournament in Nevada. Wildcats down 4 in the second quarter. Tyson Baumke driving, going up and under with a pass to Spencer Drollinger, catches it midair and scores. What a play from Drollinger. Cubs looking to close out the half strong, though. Jack Stevens pulls up from the mid-range around the elbow. The southpaw drains the jumper to put Monette up 6. But Cassville comes storming back in the third quarter. Cheney Kelly with the wide open look from 3. Bang, and it's a 1-point game in Nevada. The Wildcats, they would lead into the final quarter, but Monette is fighting back, going down low to Alec Meeks, who backs down his defender and lays it in off the glass. Monette escapes the 46-45 win over Cassville. And the nightcap, 3-seed Mount Vernon facing the 6-seed Seneca. First quarter, Mountaineers with some good ball movement, leading to Garrison Nordyke challenging the defender and knocking down the shot off the glass. Now off the inbounds, it's Nordyke again, this time dishing it to Griffin Cordray. Back to Hunter Dawson under the basket for the easy finish, and it's an early 6-point lead for the Mountaineers. Indians looking to get back into it, though. It's Derek Sherwood. He's looking to drive. He will. Driving, spinning, and scoring to shrink the Mountaineer lead. But that Mount Vernon offense was unstoppable in this one. Hunter Conway to Dawson in transition, back to Cordray, who finishes at the rim for the easy bucket. The Mountaineers cruise with a 59-27 win to set up a date with East Newton on Thursday. In the Class 5 District 6 tournament, third seed Webb City clashing with Willard. Early first quarter, Carson Anderson assists Mason Young, who drills the 3 as Webb City strikes first to take the lead. Then there's Willard's Uzziah Huskisson, though, chopping into that lead with this fadeaway jumper. More on him in a little bit. Willard taking a 4-point lead. Second quarter, it's Huskisson again, right back at it, this time knocking down the 3-pointer from the corner. 18 first half points from the sophomore. Webb City needing an answer, trailing by double digits. It's Trey Turner getting the steal and going and getting the layup in transition, cutting the deficit to 11. But Webb City can't rally. Willard upsets the Cardinals 79-59. Good basketball action tonight.
All kinds of action tonight.
Definitely.
Here,
It's going to be that
everywhere.
way the rest of the week.
And for that matter, in one form or another, for the rest of the month.
Yes.
Just about. We'll be right back. Kansas City's ready to host the Big 12 men's and women's basketball tournaments. Players are going to see a much different court during the conference championships, an LED glass court. It's previously only been used in the NBA All-Star game and in Europe. Katie Maher has details.
With just the touch of an iPad, this state-of-the-art court is capable of a lot. You can draw on it, the three-point arc glows or glass shatters based on the type of bucket scored. It's easy to see when it's wet and has the same squeak Hoops fans want to hear in a game. Fans can even hop on and play some shooting games amidst the tournament madness.
This court is housed in Orlando year-round, so as our teams played against UCF, we afforded them the opportunity to come in, to practice on the court, to get a taste of it.
There are 3 layers: the glass on the top, the LEDs below it, and the bottom layer is why the creator says athletes in Europe who have used it find it much softer on their ankles and knees.
The piece of glass that we're standing on is 2 pieces of safety glass. They're about this thick each. They're laminated together with a PVB safety foil, and they are around 2.5 times as elastic as a hardwood board used to make traditional basketball courts. And then we put an elastic substructure because that piece of glass alone would be too elastic for the athlete, which means that we have very equal elasticity at any point across the court.
The Big 12 women's basketball tournament starts on Wednesday. That is so cool. I think our attention spans are getting shorter. You know, we want to constantly be entertained, and this helps to do that, I suppose. You know, keeps you engaged in the game if you're not interested in the game. The weather, something we all need to be engaged with.
Yes, tomorrow morning we are going to see, we have an alert day for Wednesday. We're going to see the chance for hail, wind, and even an isolated tornado. It's still, the tornado threat is low, but it's going to be coming during peak commuting hours around 6, 7 o'clock. So just be prepared for that.
Good plan. Final sports note.
There's another basketball tournaments going on downtown Kansas City this week with the MIAA championships. Won't have the cool court, I don't think, but it'll definitely be entertaining. Hopefully Pitt State and Missouri Southern, both squads can make a run.
So the fans will actually have to watch the game instead of
Sadly,
the court.
Sadly, not as much fun on the court.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's be careful out there and make it a great tomorrow.